Hello everyone, welcome to this session on career readiness. Let's get started with this brief module. I have thought of these 8 points as more of outline for this particular session. So we'll start with professional success, decoding employability. So how employability is defined and what it means for us, group discussion and personal interview, which is essential part of selection process or campus drives for internships and also for final placement. Then SWOT analysis, profile building, which includes resume or CV and also LinkedIn profile, and then verbal communication and non-verbal communication. So we look at primarily these 8 aspects, and at the end there'll be some time for question and answers. Meanwhile, also if you have any queries, please feel free to post your questions or queries here so that towards end we can incorporate all those in the discussion. Well, to begin with, uh, I would like you all to just do this assessment on a piece of paper. Could be a rough paper, need not be a diary. If you have a pen or pencil, just rate yourself on these 10 parameters based on your current understanding of what it means. And at the end of this session, you will again do this assessment basis information provided in this particular presentation. So take a minute and rate yourself. This is self-assessment, not to be shared with anybody as of now or in future also. This is for your reference so that you can understand, rather identify some areas of improvement and work on it. Uh, and assess yourself based on your understanding of these terms. Don't worry much about actual meaning or maybe how it is perceived by recruiters. We will look at it in some time. That's fine. So score out of 10, maybe 0 to 10 is the range in this case. Personal excellence, uh, interpersonal effectiveness, which is primarily about interpersonal skills. Employability, basis your understanding of term employability and to what extent you consider yourself employable at this point in time. Group discussion, you may not have participated in any formal group discussion as such, but I'm sure you all have participated in discussions, formal and informal, so you can rate yourself based on that. Personal interview, so if you have appeared for interviews or if you are to appear for interview, how prepared you are, you can rate yourself on that. Resume, if you have prepared one, that's good. If not, look at what all points you have to be added in the resume and you can rate yourself there. LinkedIn profile, then oral communication and written communication, these two separately under verbal communication, and then non-verbal communication. So there are 10 points and max 10 points each, which makes it 100 points scale. Just for reference, this is not research based or anything like globally accepted career readiness scale as such. These are the parameters for this particular session, and by and large cover most of the important aspects, so we could definitely follow this. So maybe next 30-40 seconds, try and rate yourself. Just mention that number against each point. Presuming that you're done, I'll proceed to the next slide. If you have missed any of these points, in case you have joined late, you can certainly complete this exercise at the end as well. Now, first point, as part of professional success, I'm sure your goal is to be a successful professional, whether as an employee or employer. Again, as an employee in private sector, government jobs, or maybe NGOs and all, still these are professional paths. There are two dimensions as I look at it. One is personal, so that's personal excellence. These 7 points are from one of the popular books in management called Managerial Excellence. So first is creative insight. This is not plain creativity, so to say. It's not just about ideas and imagination, but it refers to see things for what they can be, means can you put things to use in a different manner. So ability to look at different utilities or ways of using something, that does include imagination and visualization, but there is element of validation and feasibility also into it. So these are not just ideas or dreams, so to say. Number two is vision. uh, these terms are not new, I'm sure, but are not that easy for us to define, because we use these terms often, but we may not understand or appreciate meaning of these terms. That's the reason that caption or brief explanation is provided there. Then vision, foresee things that others can't imagine. So ability to see things one differently, and an ability to see things that are yet not visible or clear to people, mostly futuristic ones. Third point is focus. Simply put, I think it is about prioritizing attractions and eliminating distractions in the way. And these two forces kind of determine how focused we are as individuals. Same applies to organizations and teams also. Then versatility. So skills that are useful in multiple ways in multiple projects and multiple assignments, to, and at times very useful to create, as they call, out of world or out of box solutions, when you merge things and concepts and theories and learnings from different fields and create something more of unique formula sort of thing. Next one is patience, because when you have vision and creativity and you have multiple skills as part of versatility, it is natural for such people to be impatient and just keep doing multiple things, and at times people are restless. Next thing is patience, but this doesn't mean inaction, simply waiting for the result. So action is definitely there, but once action is taken, can a person wait for things to kind of for results to come, or for to see that sort of output? It's not easy, because people try a lot of things, but when things don't work or they don't see any result in the short term, people give up and try something else. That's the reason patience matters. Next one is sensitivity. We are talking a lot about emotional intelligence and empathy and sympathy and consideration and equality and a lot of other stuff. So one essential quality globally is sensitivity, irrespective of the discipline or profession. And last point is positive attitude. But this doesn't mean someone is not bothered about things, someone doesn't pay attention to things that are not positive. uh, what it means rather is person is able to identify those risks and take appropriate actions well in time. Next one, interpersonal effectiveness, which is part of interpersonal skills. So I could think of 7 skills broadly. Again, this is not a comprehensive list. You might come across different list considering the context or industry or sort of role that you will be part of, you will be performing rather. First is teamwork. Uh, Teamwork is not just about being there as part of the team and doing my bit, you can say. There are different roles, like for us to do things, we have to initiate things, we have to monitor things, we have to motivate others. At times we have to control behaviors that are not appropriate. We have to make sure that things are on track. So these are different roles or qualities. Not everything is same. For example, when team is demotivated, demoralized, someone who could inspire or motivate people to do something is more valuable than someone else who might have tens of ideas but is unable to get along with people or kind of inspire people. Second one is presentation skills. It's ability to articulate. So we are not definitely talking about just good quality presentation and visuals and impactful, images and animation or stuff like that. Uh, Ability to articulate and put across your point of view in a manner that is appreciated by people. Third one, communication. It's not just transfer of information that I informed him or I have posted that on the group. That's not communication. Uh, Communication is intended to bring about change. Uh, at times it is emotional appeal. Sometimes it could be informative message, and certain action is desired from people, and that action will be there or will happen only when people appreciate and they understand it. So in communication, message matters, medium also matters, feedback matters, and understanding of the audience is crucial. It's not just about vocabulary and grammar and language and fluency or other things, so to say. Next point is negotiation. We are not talking about diplomats or diplomacy and government, so to say. When we say negotiation, it's about day-to-day conversations and interactions where we need resources from others in the form of time, money, inputs, ideas, support, and it does require negotiation. Next one is relationships. So ability to cultivate good mutually beneficial relationships is considered more important in business today, because we are no longer talking about transactional activities in business where you get client or project at once and then you're happy with it and you forget it. That's not the case now. Next one is conflicts, because when we talk about working with people, power dynamics come into picture, and ability to understand and handle conflicts is crucial for you to work in a team or to work with people and get things done. And last one is leadership. You may or may not be a formally designated leader in the group, but leadership qualities are required for you to work in a team. So this is the list of 7 points under interpersonal effectiveness. You can revisit your scores also as we go along with go through these slides. And if you wish to correct your score, maybe add or kind of reduce it, that's okay. Just do it for yourself. You don't have to share it. Next one is employability dimensions. We read a lot about employability, and X% of people are unemployable, and Y% and things like that. Employability basically includes three dimensions or aspects. One is knowledge, second one skills, and third is attitude. Again, knowledge means knowledge of what am I supposed to read books? Am I supposed to read articles or case studies? Am I supposed to watch videos? Am I supposed to read about society, politics, sports, or domain knowledge? And what should be the balance? These are common queries. Hence, under this dimension knowledge, there are sub dimensions: applied and fundamental domain knowledge, so that's theoretical knowledge; interdisciplinary related fields. Third is industry awareness. In general, what's happening in industry or sector, trends, patterns, challenges, regulations, uh, customer sentiments, growth, profits. That's important for all of us to know, whether you're running a business or just part of the team. Current affairs. This includes all political, social, government, natural environment, and all those related aspects, because it does affect business directly or indirectly. For example, coronavirus has nothing to do with programming, so to say, but it affects programmers and their lives simply because they are part of industry, and industry is affected by such forces. Second dimension is skills. Again, functional or domain specific skills. So programming, coding, testing, writing, report writing, maybe in case of marketing professional, selling, marketing, branding. Interpersonal skills, which we've discussed before. Self-management skills, so personal excellence related skills, so planning, organizing, motivation, control, discipline, awareness are crucial. And last is use of state-of-the-art tools, because digitization is everywhere. This is required. Last dimension is attitude. In fact, this many people say is should be first one. Continuous learning, positive approach, commitment to work, because recruiters often kind of complain about this factor, that new employees or at times even existing employees are not serious about jobs. So that's a concern everywhere. Commitment can be a differentiator. And last one is professional and civic values, because after all, we are part of society and community and culture at large. So this is employability. These are employability dimensions. Next one, now we come to one step in the selection process, which is used by large organizations, one. And number two, when number of candidates are more and recruiters doesn't have enough time to talk to all the candidates. So to assess candidates on interpersonal skills, and also to eliminate those who are anyways not going to make it to the final round, companies would use this as elimination round. Typically, this is conducted after aptitude test, online or offline, but before personal interviews. Success factors, or what you will be assessed on, typically in group discussions. There is often a myth that group discussion means assessment of knowledge. So more you know about a particular topic, and if you're able to speak a number of times, you can be successful at group discussion. That notion could be wrong, because group discussion allows recruiters to assess you on parameters like behavior, motivation. For example, behavior and motivation is visible through body language. Otherwise, there is no scale as such, right? People who are involved in the group discussion reciprocate and are positive throughout, and are involved in the discussion. It's clear that these people are serious about group discussion and also that particular drive or opportunity in general. Then coordination, leadership, communication, mindset. So on any given topic, we can decide to look at the positive side or even negative side of things. So what's our approach? Even if you have to take other side of the topic, if you conclude that with some concrete suggestion or a solution, instead of simply talking about negatives, and negatives, that's better. Because if you talk like that, that means you think like that, you feel like that, and you probably behave like that, and you will approach your projects and assignments and tasks also like that, which companies don't want to happen, or they don't want people like these people to be part of team. Listening, and active listening, because some of us have habit of talking, at times talking a lot. uh, any organization is made up of n number of people. So if people don't listen to each other and appreciate each other's, it's tough. And that kind of culture is not good for any company. Ability to speak, yes. And if you look at the list also, speaking is not at the top. Then confidence and conflict. So confidence is again visible through how you speak, how you sit, how you respond to queries, what happens when somebody objects your point of view. Do you just give up, or still try your best to kind of articulate your point of view? That's not about convincing, it's not a debate. So goal is not to put across your point in a manner that everybody is convinced and people, kind of everybody appreciates. So that's not going to happen. It's a group discussion. Your job is to put across your point of view in a manner with facts and with logic, than emotions and other sort of appeals. And last one is conflicts and how do you manage, uh, because whenever you work in a team, it's bound to happen. And in fact, conflicts are not bad all the time. So conflicts, as long as those are uh, in a manageable limit. In fact, certain level of conflict or a difference of opinion is essential for innovation or for something good to happen. Otherwise, people are just saying yes for everything that comes to them, and then don't even apply mind. So conflicts are essential. However, they shouldn't be dysfunctional. Next one, now we come to interview, PI as it is called. Interview preparedness is part one. This is before interview or something that you can work on right away. Understand, possibly there would be three rounds. At times, these three rounds are clubbed into two or maybe one round, but generally these three rounds are there for large organizations. So first round is HR round, where they would look at CV or put for your resume and see if things are fine and what you have mentioned matches or what you have to kind of show. Uh, Second is technical round. So this is test of your knowledge and skills and job specific skills. Third one is final round. Mostly senior people or leadership team, as they say, would join such meetings. It's also called negotiation round in some cases. Please remember that some students who are found good on domain part or skills part also are eliminated simply because they don't exhibit that sort of attitude, or they have expectations which are not realistic. That could be a challenge. And then they would appreciate you for what you are, but they would be honest enough to tell you that maybe you're not the right fit for the role that they have, because they can't give you everything that is there in the world. So they also have limitations. That's the reason this round is about fitment and the long-term view. Next is research and study. Job description, understand what roles and responsibilities are there. There is no need to presume that I know what programmers do or testing people do and I can just do it. Specifically look for desired qualities mentioned in the job description. So mostly recruiters would mention things like, we are looking for people who have innovative outlook, people who are positive, people who have this, that, and because these are the things that are important to that particular recruiter or for that particular role. So it matters to them. If you, even if you have some other qualities in your group, great at something else, but it is not relevant to what they are looking for, you might not be considered. So that, again, alignment is essential here. Read about organization, know as much as you can about industry and sector in general, because that shows your interest in the organization and industry. And it's not just by chance or by luck you're there for the interview. And last is career path or track, series of jobs that you possibly can take up, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, more the better in terms of planning and visualization. Interview performance can again be kind of looked at into two parts. First one is impression before any sort of interaction, appearance, attitude, and attention throughout the interview. We'll talk about appearance under nonverbal communication maybe in the next slides. Interactions. So there are frequently asked questions like, introduce yourself, be prepared with this script, I will say, maybe 2-3 versions of it, considering couple of roles that are top priority roles for you. So some variation is possible there. Why this job, why this organization, and why this field of study. So expect these questions. And then difficult questions and negotiation questions. So difficult questions are situational or to test your emotional quotient or certain ability. So there could be some questions. And negotiation questions are questions related to salary, location, preferences, and maybe at times contract or other conditions, terms and conditions of the job offer. What you could possibly do at this stage is this: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats analysis. If you have not done this by now. So look at abilities, skills, and knowledge areas you're good at. Look at areas to improve with respect to habits or certain poor record, whether it is academics or extracurricular or certifications or something else, and also identify skill gaps. Opportunities, so job profiles, career paths, projects, assignments that are more suitable to you, considering your strengths, and also threats. So opportunities and threats are external factors, strengths and weaknesses are internal. So this is also called, controllable set of factors, and these are the factors on which you have limited control. However, you can use your strengths to minimize the damage through threats, and also make sure that uh, opportunities are not lost because of weaknesses. So work on strengths, minimize weaknesses, and also identify opportunities. Profile, there could be different formats of resume. University or institutes suggest standard format, so you can use it, and you can have your creative format also, which you can use when you are applying for jobs or opportunities on your own. Yeah. LinkedIn profile, name, photo, tagline, summary, education, skills, certifications, recommendations. These are essential elements. Make sure that these are appropriately taken care of. Like for example, photograph. So LinkedIn is a professional network, so professional photograph. Name should be written properly. No nicknames there, please. Tagline, because this is one line that people see if they don't open your profile. This is the first thing that they're going to see along with your name and photo. Summary is important because if they have limited time, they will look at those 3 sentences, 5 sentences to understand who you are and whether you could be of any help or use to them. And then add education, skills, certifications appropriately. Try for a couple of recommendations. If you have worked on any project with some industry professional, ask for recommendation, follow up, and make sure that you have a couple of recommendations in the profile. That's a big factor. In general, highlight your skills and abilities, projects, internships, events, certifications, courses, trainings, your strengths, differentiators, and achievements. Understand that people are not much interested in your personal details and hobbies and your hometown and your family and schooling as such, unless you have something really, really unique, relevant for the job. Else, that is just there on the CV. Let it be there. You don't have to eliminate that section entirely, but focus on these skills because these are the things that can fetch your job, not your personal factors. Verbal communication, oral and written. Some of us are good in oral communication while others are good in writing, but for job and profession, we require both. Oral communication, again, context specific. One is maybe one-on-one interactions, face-to-face or virtual. Discussion, formal meetings or informal discussions. Public speaking, talks, which is more of one way. You're addressing people, but there's no real engagement as such. And at times you might have to conduct interactive sessions also. Work on these skills or aspects also. You may not get enough time to work on these things when you grow up the ladder in organizations 5 years, 7 years down the line. And typically managers or leaders are expected to have these sort of qualities, or team leaders in your case. Written communication, email writing. So key things are subject line, attachment, email signature, salutation, how your first line or statement, closing line, and then main body or message. Avoid all kinds of spellings and grammar mistakes. You can use tools like Grammarly or other tools for this, but make sure that there are no errors, because whatever is written and sent is sent. There is no feature beyond like 30 seconds for you to kind of take back that particular email and then send it. Apology emails don't work if it's a serious mistake, because that's your impression. For people you are connecting online, there's nothing else. You just write an email and they will make kind of assess you or your impression basis your email and how you have presented the content there. Reports, you might have to prepare some reports, like your academic reports are in future when you're asked to present something. Outline is one aspect, so what all things should be there in the report, and formatting. this is a often ignored element. So margins, indent, spacing, font size, font types, maybe whether page borders are required or not. Then header, footer, people make, I would say, good number of mistakes there for no reason, because we don't pay attention to such things. These are not like, this is not rocket science anyways, but these errors show ignorance or negligence, and it's not appreciated. That reflects your attitude through such minor mistakes and avoidable errors. Presentations. So be good at presentations. You'll be required to make multiple presentations, irrespective of your job profile and location that you'll be working at. Sheets, Google Sheets, spreadsheets, Excel. So basic use of Excel is desired or expected. And last one is messages and chats. Again, you will say, do we need to really talk about this as part of career readiness? My answer is yes, because timing, context, size of the message, to whom you're writing, how many messages, length of the message, everything counts. Again, reason is this is your impression, and there is no second opportunity. In fact, in case of chat and messages, people don't even see your face. They'll make judgment about you based on what you have written there and how you have written it and at what point in time. Non-verbal communication, last part of the session in this presentation. Two specific aspects I believe are important: body language, and second one is personal appearance. So handshake, posture, gestures, facial expressions, eye contact. Again, this is not just for public speakers or psychology professionals or leaders or people who negotiate and attend a lot of meetings. This is for everybody, because in whether it's GD or interview or any other interaction, handshake is there. Posture, even if it is virtual online communication, posture does matter. It speaks about you, in fact speaks volume about you. Gestures, facial expressions, they rightly say facial expressions don't lie. So seasoned recruiters and industry professionals know how to use these body language mechanisms to understand people better, and they would make decisions based on that at times. Last one is space distancing. So although generation is changing, it is cool to get into intimate space as a friend. That's fine in university or on campus, not in office for sure. So understand these concepts at length. Those who are really interested, there are good videos and books and blogs available on these topics. So understand what is space distancing, facial expressions. Eye contact is still okay, but maybe posture and gesture, and how you can assess people based on how they walk, talk, stand, sit. Then next part is personal appearance, which includes apparels, formals, casuals. Smart casuals is also there, but we'll talk about it maybe, that's there, but formals is what you need to understand. And don't have your version of formals. Formals means formals that is there, might not be cool for many of us, but still there. We'll take it as it is at face value. Accessories, use of it not only for girls, also for boys now, that's there. Use colors, and because colors and choice of colors also speaks about us. Fitness and hygiene, again crucial factors, because if you can't take good care of yourself, how will you take care of projects and assignments and people and organizations? Maybe we'll have another session in some time to take your address your queries and concerns, if any, on this, and also take your feedback.